सबको नमस्कार 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 प्रणाम प्रणाम नमस्ते
Gurudev, I will take a moment to introduce the theme of our conversation.
Yes, go ahead. Yes,
Good
Rajita.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to all the viewers who are joining us live now from India and from all other parts of the world. My name is Rajita Kulkarni. I'm the president of Shri Shri University, and along with Professor Dr. Ajay Kumar Singh, Vice Chancellor of Shri Shri University, we are so honored, Gurudev, that you have given us this time to have this very important conversation this morning about the impact of Corona on higher education. Today the higher education sector is disrupted. It is having to embrace different means of teaching, learning. Some of us are able to do it. Some of us are not able to do it in the higher education sector. And this is a topic, Gurudev, which is impacting every family in the world, because every child who goes to college is today impacted by this. And there are many questions that are facing us, many challenges that we foresee, and also many opportunities. So today, Gurudev, we are joined by very prominent academicians as well as very senior leaders from our academic regulators to have this conversation with you. And we will be inviting each of them to pose a thought or a question to you to seek your insights. I would like to start by introducing and inviting Dr. Professor K.K. Agarwal ji, who is the chairman of the National Board of Accreditation, a very senior, respected academician for the last 4-5 decades, to pose the first question to you.
Jai Gurudev, Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I have always been believing that our higher education system is starting to believe more and more in super specialized degrees, very over super specialized domains. And I've been saying that the real life problems like drinking water problem, energy problem, all these are multidisciplinary problems, and we are not preparing the students enough for that. Unfortunately, this COVID-19 has come as a live demonstration of largest possible disruption to the higher education system. And that, I think, now should keep us wiser that any problem of this dimension cannot be a single discipline problem. So although it's a primarily health problem, but if you are not able to view the social angle, if you are not able to view the economic angle, then you probably are not reaching the correct solution. So how do we see in future higher education system being tailored to see multi dimensions of a problem in a graduate rather than focusing on a tunnel vision on a narrow knowledge? Because you have been enlightening us so many times on such issues. So I thought you can probably guide us because future will have to take this direction. And connected with this, I would say that basic fundamentals will have to be attended, because problem today may not be really how to invent the vaccine for COVID-19. Our meta problem could be how to be fast inventing the vaccines, how to be fast attending to a problem. So basic sciences and research and all that should go together so that we can do the meta skill in the students to come forward. Thank you very much.
Yeah. See, this issue today, what the world is facing, has given a taste to those people who know how to fight wars in a new way. I don't think this will end here unless and until there is a, like for nuclear policy, the international community came together and put a big policy, made it a policy issue, and there are conditions kept on place, and nations were made to sign those treaties, this is nothing short of that nuclear bombardment which happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This is a similar offense on the world where you don't even see the enemy. This is like a third world war. You know, the amount of pain and suffering that millions are going through, and then the fear that people are going through in other parts of the world is alarming. So, okay, you find a vaccine for this virus, nothing will stop those people from making another new virus, which can come in couple of years and then it will again take the world by storm. So there need to be some ethical principles on biological weapons, chemical weapons, and then there must be some control. And I feel that United Nations body has become very weak in handling or monitoring issues like this. Because I have seen the worst disaster that has happened in Iraq in the past several decades. So having said this, post-coronavirus, I would see the education will not be the same. I don't know whether it will be for good or for the worse. But one thing for sure, that people would like to sit at home and learn. Campuses will be feared at least for a couple of years, if not for too long. At least for next 1 year, I would say that people would like to do online programs more and more rather than coming to any place where they can stay and study. The fear will be very big, not just in the students but also among the parents, I would say. Now see, universities in America, they have floated already all online courses. They have said nobody need to come for next 2 semesters and people can just study from home. But you all have to see how this is possible. I think for practical things it is not totally possible. Because say suppose I am a chemistry student, I need to be in the lab. If I am an engineering student, I have to be in the lab. Unless I have a lab experience, just studying books, I don't know how far I will be an effective graduate, or I can do better. Of course, commerce, you can study history, you can study social sciences, you can study, but when it comes to practical sciences, you have got to be in the campus, you have got to be with the professors. How online and offline can manage both, these are some things a new model will have to emerge from this troubling situations. So we all have to think about how can we balance off the campus and on the campus, how we can do that, or sparingly placing the students, or in a lab you cannot have too much social distancing. Labs have limited space, and also with the medical science is but practically impossible to do everything online. You have to go to college, you have to be in the hospitals. But the fear is still there in people, and I only see it growing more day by day.
Thank you, Gurudev. That is also currently many of our experience, because we have all had to move to online classrooms, and we will be faced with these decisions of how much to open the campus, how many students might come back, and how to blend. Dr. Singh, can I ask you to introduce the next? I think I saw Dr. Singh log off. So I will do that for the moment. Professor S.C. Sharma, Director of NAAC, the National Assessment and Accreditation Council of India. Dr. Sharma, can I request you to ask?
Sure. Namaste, Guruji.
Namaskar. Namaskar, Sharma.
In Vishnu Sahasrana, picking from your just now what I heard, Vishnu Sahasranama at the end, Ananyas Chintayantama, last Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Yoga and Kshema can, it is supplementary and complementary function. Now, whether we like it or not, the whole world is leading towards commercialization of higher education. Though in constitution, education is a concurrent subject, whether state or center. But now, how do we map and match the value system to education under the caption of commercialization of education? Donation is, we should not take donation, but in different forms of fees or whatever it is, that has been happening. Like yoga and kshema, values and education, it should be homogeneous. It cannot be heterogeneous, number one. And number two, you just now mentioned, Guruji, about online courses. But having served as Vice Chancellor of two universities, Technical and General University, of Public Funded University, there are a lot of remote villages where the bandwidth is less, students are not accessible, teachers are online and students are offline. You see, United States and European countries, the volume and size of students are less. But it is a very paradoxical thing, even after independence. These problems have not been addressed. At least now we are opening our eyes during COVID-19, that what are the corrective measures that we should be taking a little later, and could you please throw some light on this?
Yeah. Yes, yoga, coming to the Yogakshema part, yes. We need to inculcate in youth some sort of self-inquiry, seeing their life in context with the existence. This whole universe of many dimensions and your life, and what is the context, how you interact with the nature, what is your true nature. Some of these inquiries should be part of the curriculum. People are living as though they are simply action oriented and not introspection oriented. As long as you don't introspect, you don't look into your own emotions, you don't look into your character, whether you are honest or dishonest, or what your feelings are, your thoughts are, that little bit of self-discipline or self-inquiry will take a youth a long way in building their personalities. So I think education system in the past have ignored, like the previous generation, which had a very solid foundation of character, of personality, of vision and context for life. And today's youth, somewhere they lack it. They need that introspection. Every educated from ancient times in all cultures, one thing was common, that is, you introspect. Look into yourself, what you are, who you are, where you want to go, what do you want to do, what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. People don't even take a look at their own weakness and their strength. They just exist, not even live their life. And they are flowing in a flood of emotions and just, grappling around, gaping for their own life. So first of all, I would feel that a sense of moral and spiritual integrity, human integrity, has to come in the education system. When we can train youth to look in the context and what is that you want, how you like to be treated by others, how are you treating others, do you follow discipline? If not, why? What is that stops you from following a discipline? This sort of hand holding for youth is absolutely essential. They are not the type of youth who would draw lessons from reading books or watching videos. They need to be given counseling and held to become stronger. Once we do this, they are brilliant, they are excellent. You see that they have respect for the old and they have enthusiasm for the new. So I always say life is like a tree. The roots should be old and shoots are new. Like science and character and philosophy and moral education is absolutely essential. And yoga in this sense is very, very, very effective, and it's non-denominational. It cuts across religion and race and gender. See, we have been teaching the programs in 48 universities of United States of America, where it is for credit. America looks at some syllabus and they find it, oh, this is so good, this will benefit our youth. Then they put it for credit. Here also AICT was very enthusiastic, and AICT had opened to introduce the self program, look into self development, empowerment program, just few days, 3-4 days, 2 hours each day, and then youth suddenly find their energy level is high, they are more compassionate, they are more cooperative, they are more studious. These characters which we naturally inherited in the previous generation. Nobody need to pump in us and tell us you have to be good or you have to excel. This was in our sort of environment, in our DNA, post-independent era. But today they need to be told, they need to be given, they need to be handheld to get into that space of Yogakshema as you are mentioning. Yeah.
Thank you, Gurudev. And actually, Professor Rajiv Kumar, who is the member secretary of AICT, is our next guest. And we have now about 12 minutes left. So if we can keep our questions brief, then we can accommodate all questions. Thank you.
Gurudev Pranam.
Rajiv Kumar ji. Yeah.
Sir, I have 2 questions, small questions. Sir, we know that every problem comes with some solution and opportunities. What opportunities you see in this present problem? This is part A. Part B is, due to this COVID problem, our students are confined to their places. These students are worried about their future and are in great distress. What is your message to these students?
Yeah. I would tell them, see, every crisis is a bigger opportunity for growth to exhibit your skills and talents. And I'm sure after this crisis, the economy of the country will shoot up. I'm sure. I think we will be able to manage that. Now, youth should know this. This is a war time. In the war time, you cannot sit and cry and get depressed and worry about yourself. You should put your 100% to combat the war. Just imagine what happened after World War II. Germany was erased to ground, but then Germany came right back up. Same happened with Japan. So we are in such a critical junction of the time. There is no time left to sit and brood over the past or be negative. This is the time to learn as much as you can, improve your skills as much as you can, and then we will see. We'll be able to do something good. Yeah? Believe in yourself, in your capacity, number one. Believe in the goodness in society. There are good people. The society is made up of 90%, 95% good people, so you will be helped. Third, believe in unseen power, a supernatural power which would definitely come to your help anytime you want it. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Singh.
Namaste, Jai Gurudev. Gurudev, I am delighted to Dr. Pankaj Mittalji, Secretary General of Association of Indian Universities, which takes care of all the universities in the country. So it's a body which is recognized by the Government of India. So I request Dr. Pankaj Mittal to please ask the question.
हाँ हाँ हाँ
Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself. Dr. Mittal, you have to unmute.
प्रणाम गुरुदेव।
हाँ पंकज जी कैसे हो?
ठीक है सर।
हाँ
गुरुदेव, because I am representing the Association of Indian Universities, so this question is on behalf of all the Indian universities. Gurudev, post-corona, like in all other spheres of society and economy, there will be a new normal in the education space also. And during this time of these unprecedented challenges, our universities have resorted to online teaching learning. So in such circumstances, it is a challenge to ensure holistic development of our students, as now they have spaces which were available as they used to interact with the teachers, seniors, students in the campuses. So what we want to have from you as guidance is on ways to ensure physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual development of our students to make them good human beings.
पहले आपको बहुत बधाई हो, आपने महिलाओं के शिक्षा के लिए इतना काम किए, आप उस पर खड़े रहिए, एक आदर्श प्राय बन के रहिए। महिलाओं के एजुकेशन के लिए आपको बहुत बधाई हो। आप ऐसे अपना काम करते रहिए, अधिक से अधिक महिलाएं एजुकेट हो जाती हमारे देश में, उतना बेहतर है, उतना ही देश और आगे बढ़ेगा। क्योंकि एक महिला अपने बच्चों को जितना प्रभावित कर सकती है उतना घर के पिता नहीं कर सकते, भाई नहीं कर सकते। महिलाओं में बहुत वो ताकत है, शक्ति है। तो अभी वी नीड टू ब्रिंग द बेसिक वैल्यू बेस्ड एजुकेशन। हमको लगता है सिर्फ हम बच्चों को इंफॉर्मेशन मशीन्स बना के छोड़ रहे हैं। कई जगह हम वी आर फीडिंग देम विथ इंफॉर्मेशन, बट वी आर फॉरगेटिंग टू डेवलप देम एज ए गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग। वो अच्छे ह्यूमन बीइंग बनाने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? व्हाट नीड टू बी डन टू मेक समवन ए गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग? दिस वी ऑल हैव टू थिंक। वी मे गेट मेनी आइडियाज. We have also thought about it. Some ideas we have, others may have even more ideas. If we put all these ideas to see how a human personality can be built better, this is something that had to happen. And this can only come from the East. It cannot come from the West. Because in the East only,
That is true.
हमारे ये पौर्वात्य देशों में ही व्यक्तित्व निर्माण के लिए इतना जोर दी गई है, और ख़ासतौर से भारत में इसमें बहुत हम लोगों ने सदियों से, हमारे ऋषि मुनियों के समय से, परंपरा से ये आई है। एक व्यक्ति कैसे अच्छे व्यक्ति बने, सुदृढ़ व्यक्ति बने, मजबूत व्यक्ति बने, अंदर से उनकी व्यक्तित्व में क्या क्या खूबी होनी चाहिए, इस पर ध्यान, इस पर जो गाइडेंस भी है वो भारत ही दे सकता है, या जापान, भारत, ये पौर्वात्य देश, सब ये सब देशों के ये जहन में है, ये है। तो इस पर हम बहुत से विचार कर सकते हैं। आध्यात्मिक उन्नति, आध्यात्मिक माने क्या? अपनापन। कितना एक व्यक्ति के अंदर अपनापन है, सबको अपनाने की कला है। I usually ask students, how many friends you have in your college? Usually they hold their hands and say 3, 4, 5, no, not more than 7, 8. And I ask them a question, look, you have spent so many years, 4, 5 years in your college with thousands of students. If you are studying in university, you are studying with 20, 30,000 students. And if you cannot be friendly with all of them, or could not make one new friend every day, then how are you going to live your life with 7 billion people when you come out of the college or university. Your personality has shrunk. You only interact with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people, and even with them you are not happy, you are arguing, there is jealousy, there is anger, there is competition, hatred, all these storms of emotions. हमारे भीतर ये जो भावनाओं की तूफान चलती है ना, ये खासतौर से युवाओं में बहुत चलती है, ताकि उनकी जो सूक्ष्म शरीर है, भावनात्मक शरीर अभी डेवलप ही हो रही है. Their emotional body is just developing. At this time, they need pranayama, they need some counseling, they need techniques which can help them to be very strong, solid, and compassionate with everybody around them.
Thank you, Gurudev, for that advice. And it is indeed something that all of us as educators are today focusing on and also dealing with. Gurudev, our next question comes from Professor Nageshwar Rao. He's the Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University, which could be probably the largest university in the world. They have more than 4 million students. Professor Rao, very experienced and respected academician. Please, sir, you can ask your question.
Pranam Gurudev.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
As you have rightly pointed out, that the post-corona scenario will be different for the higher education system, especially in the conventional institutions. Because of the social distancing, only half of the students they can be accommodated in that system. Because if a classroom is having an intake of 60, because of that social distancing, only 30 people they can come. Then there is a great opportunity for the open and distance learning. And here we can provide opportunity to the learners at home. Still, the country is not having adequate digital infrastructure. Under these circumstances, can you give us some insights so that we can move ahead for the country as a whole?
Yes, Nageshwar Rao Garu, you see, this is a very vital question and it doesn't have one single answer. Because as the time progresses, we will have to look into many directions. We will have to experiment with many ideas. And whichever works, we should be happy with that. And we should see any of our idea, whether it works all time. It may work for some time, but again, we may have to revert back to our old system. So we need to keep a very open mind. And I would say we need to have 10 plans. We can work out 10 different plans and put one by one, whichever works, whichever is most effective, we should choose that, because our main aim and goal is to create good citizens, very well educated, civilized, and citizens with scientific temper. Education, if it doesn't bring scientific temper in people, we are in trouble. We are in great trouble. And if there is no scientific temper, neither humanity nor social sciences, humanity or science, technology will be of any use to us. Even technical education, the students will have to have a very open mind and a broad vision and a good character. Otherwise, we will end up in a state which we don't want to be. You must have heard about what happened with several doctors that happened here in Bangalore, in how people are behaving with the doctors, and how some engineers who are in Hyderabad, who are going to repair the air condition, in the way they behave with the people. It's all very, very disturbing, unfortunately. But I feel India, we have plenty of opportunity to lead the world in both internal values, in terms of character and quality, and also quantity. We have huge human resource, young generation, people with young, very young generations are here, young graduates, and the world needs them. The world needs people from here, and we need to do quite a bit in this. As I said, let us all put our ideas together, and we will come. I mean, this is just a beginning. I think we should keep more interaction with involving more people and see what best we can contribute before our generation takes a back seat, and to see how we can leave the future generation with strong values and good character and a broad vision for future.
Thank you, Gurudev. It is indeed time for the meditation, but we have two more Vice Chancellors online with us. So would it be convenient to take a few minutes after meditation to take their input?
Yeah, you will all be here. You have time, no? For 20 minutes we will do meditation.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Sit comfortably and easily. Let me have a sip of water before. In meditation, we are going to attend to the three dimensions we have. One is the body, is our first dimension. The second dimension is breath or life force. The third dimension is mind. You know, the normal or common notion is the mind is inside the body. But I would like to bring to your notice, it is not so, it's the other way around. Body is inside the mind. Your mind is that vibration, biomagnetic vibration that you have, that your whole body emits. So your mind is all around the body and inside the body too. To a lay person, I would say, body is like the wick of a candle, the mind is like the glow around it. इतना हम ध्यान रखते हैं, शरीर बाती जैसा है, मन ज्योति जैसा है. ज्योति बाती के अंदर नहीं होता, बाती के चारों ओर होती है ज्योति, है ना? The flame is not inside the wick, but it is all around the wick. Like that, our mind is all around us. The prana and mind is all around us. So we attend to these three dimensions: body, mind, and breath. So let us sit comfortably, easily. And we'll begin with little shaking our hands. Let us shake our hands. थोड़ा हाथ को हिला दीजिए, अच्छे से झाड़िए. Knowledge comes in contrast. If knowledge of stillness comes with movement, knowledge of silence comes with sound. So let us be still and let's close our eyes. आंखें बंद कर लेते हैं. एक गहरी सांस लीजिए और छोड़िए. Become aware of your whole body. Your body has trillions and trillions of cells. Now recollect the weight of your body, whatever it is, 60 kilos, 70 kilos, 80 kilos. Become aware of the weight of your body. अपने ही शरीर के वजन को याद कर लें. जब हम इस धरती पर आए सिर्फ 4 किलो वजन के थे, आज हम 60, 70, 80, 90 किलो वजन के. When we came into this planet Earth, we were weighing just 4 kilos or 5 kilos. And now we weigh 60, 70, 80 kilos. Now become aware of the fact that the chair you are sitting or the floor you are sitting is carrying the weight of your body. अपने वजन को अपने कुर्सी के ऊपर रख दें या ये जान लें जहां आप बैठे हैं वह पृथ्वी या कुर्सी आपकी वजन को ढो रही है. Place your weight on the chair you are sitting. Once again, let's pay attention to our body. फिर एक बार अपना ध्यान पूरी तरह से शरीर पे रखें. Your body is the most precious gift to you from Almighty, from nature. Let us honor our own body. यह शरीर कुदरत से, ईश्वर से मिला हुआ अद्भुत देन है. अपने ही शरीर को मन ही मन सत्कार करें. इसी को अभ्यास बोलते हैं जो सत्कार के रूप से किया जाता है. सत्कार सेवितो दृढ़ भूमि. पतंजलि महर्षि ने कहा सत्कार से जो करते हैं वही अभ्यास है. Honor your own body. Have reverence to your body. Relax your feet. Relax your knees and thighs, your legs. अपने पाँव को, घुटने को, पूरे पैर को ढीला छोड़ते हैं. सम्मान करें. शरीर के मध्य भाग पर अपना ध्यान देते हैं. इस मध्य भाग को भी सम्मान करते हैं। And become aware of your shoulders, neck and head. Just take your attention to the top part of your body. This is the most precious gift you have. Whatever the sensations are, just let it be. जो भी संवेदनाएं हो रही हैं इस वक्त शरीर में, रहने दें, वो होने दें। मन ही मन इस शरीर को सत्कार करें। Honor your own body. It's a precious gift to you. Now notice right in the center of your body is the breath that is moving in and out. शरीर के बीचों बीच सांस चल रही है, उस पर ध्यान दीजिए। It is the breath that is giving value to the body, that is keeping our body alive. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath and breathe out through the mouth. Another deep breath in. फिर एक गहरी सांस लीजिए, सांस को रोकिए और छोड़िए। ब्रीद आउट, breathe in again. Hold the breath and breathe out through the mouth. Become aware of the air all around you and inside of you. This is the second dimension, the breath. शरीर के कण कण सांस ले रही है और छोड़ रही है। सांस के प्रति सजग हो जाएं। ये दूसरा आयाम है हमारे। शरीर के भीतर बाहर वायुमंडल है, इसके प्रति सजग हो जाएं। There's air inside and outside of you. Like fish in the water, we are in air. Incoming breath energizes the body and outgoing breath brings relaxation. This phenomenon is happening all along. Just take note of this. उच्छ्वास हमको शक्ति से, बल से भर देती है, निश्वास हमको विश्राम दिला देती है। यह निरंतर चल रही है, इस पर ध्यान दीजिए। अंदर लेते वक्त सांस शरीर को बल दे रही है, तो बाहर निकलते वक्त इस शरीर को यही सांस विश्राम दिलाते रहे। हमारे भीतर बाहर सांस है, वायुमंडल है, युगपत इसका अनुभव करें। फील द एयर इनसाइड ऑफ यू एंड आउटसाइड ऑफ यू simultaneously. The breath is keeping every cell of our body alive. Become aware of the air all around you and inside of you. गहरी सांस लीजिए, 3 गहरी सांस लीजिए और छोड़िए। Let us move on to the third dimension, the mind. Our body is like the wick of a candle, the mind is like the glow all around it. तीसरा आयाम पर पहुंचते हैं, हमारा मन। शरीर बाती है तो मन ज्योति है। जो भी विचार मन में आ रहा हो इस वक्त उसको आने दे। अच्छे विचार हो, बुरे विचार हो, कोई परवाह नहीं, सबको आने दे। Whatever thoughts are there, good thoughts, pleasant ones, not so good, unpleasant ones, let them come. फिर एक गहरी सांस लीजिए और छोड़िए। Become aware of the walls of the room you are sitting in, and also become aware of the ceiling. Welcome all the thoughts. Give them a hug. Embrace all the thoughts. Not resist any. If and when they come, let them come. And they go by the way they come. विचार अपने आप आते हैं तो आने दें, ना ठोकना ना रोकना है। इस वक्त आपका शरीर स्थिर है, और सांस धीमी चल रही है, मन शांत हुआ जा रहा है. This moment our body is still, our breath is subtler and softer. And our mind is slowly becoming stiller. चारों ओर का दीवार और छत को स्मरण करें एक बार. इतनी जगह पर आपका मन विस्तृत हुआ है. Become aware of the space around you and above you, and your mind has occupied all this space. सब प्रयत्न छोड़ दें, मन जहां जाना चाहे वहां जाने दीजिए. Let go of all your efforts. Let the mind go wherever it wants to go. But you just be here. हम यही हैं, मन को घुमाइए, जहां जाना चाहे जाने दें. As the mind expands, body finds relaxation. And as the body relaxes, the mind expands. This is happening all the time. यह सत्य है कि मन जब फैलता है, शरीर को विश्राम मिलता है. तो मन जब सिकुड़ता है, शरीर को तनाव महसूस होता है. Let us relax even more. और ढीला छोड़ते हैं, मन को चारों ओर फैलने दें. Mind is subtler than air and subtler than water. Like the water and air spreads and flows, so can the mind. So is our consciousness, very subtle. हमारी चेतना जल से भी तरल है, वायु से भी सूक्ष्म है. वे फैलते हैं. एक और गहरी सांस लीजिए और छोड़े धीरे धीरे. एक और गहरी सांस लेते हैं और छोड़ते हैं। अब सब प्रयत्न छोड़ते हैं। This moment, let go all your efforts. Let's take another deep breath in. And as we breathe out, let us repose in ourselves. अपने आप में विश्राम करें। You are peace. This moment, there is nothing to do and nothing to know either. Just be, repose, and any discomfort that is there, just let it be. कहीं कोई असुविधा लग रही हो उसको रहने दें। पूरा विश्राम करें। ना कुछ करना है ना ही कुछ जानना है इस वक्त। ओम शांति शांति शांति। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। एक और गहरी सांस लीजिए। Take another deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Become aware of your body and surroundings. शरीर और परिसर के प्रति सजग हो जाए और धीरे धीरे आंखें खोल सकते हैं। You may slowly and gently open your eyes. अच्छा लगा? Very nice.
It's very relaxing and rejuvenating, Gurudev. It will be convenient, Gurudev, to take 2 more questions.
Yes. I am ready. Yeah, we can do that.
Dr. Singh.
Jai Gurudev, we'd like to now request Professor Ahmed H. Vyas, the Vice Chancellor of MS University of Vadodara, Gujarat. Dear friend of mine, please ask the question. Unmute yourself and please ask the question.
व्यास जी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार गुरुदेव, प्रणाम।
प्रणाम।
Gurudev, I would like you to give us guidance because under the COVID-19, how and in what way we can boost the morale of teachers. Because in your opening remarks, you said that the word would be not normal, and we are in education sector, we are in capacity building, we are in nation building. I want you to guide teachers so that whatever that you have expressed from all of us, we can deliver it.
Yeah. First of all, I want teachers to be free from stress. This is a time of tremendous pressure and stress. हमारे काम बहुत रहते हैं, The definition for stress is too much to do, too little time and no energy. This is the formula to get stressed. If anybody wants to get stressed, there's lot of things to do and no energy and no time, shortage of time. ये तो आजकल सबको हो रहा है. This is very common. At this time, how we can get rid of stress on a daily basis, ये हमको देखना पड़ेगा. So when the teachers are free from stress, their attention span is much more. Their patience increases a lot. Today, teachers definitely need a lot more patience than the previous generation. Do you all agree with me? Do you all agree?
Yes.
How many of you agree on this? Please raise your hand. Yeah. So when we were students, it was teachers' rule. Everything teacher had in their hand. They were having an upper hand. Today, the students seem to have an upper hand over teachers. In this scenario, we have got to be free from stress. We have to have lot more patience in listen to them and see that they attend to what we are telling them. So, इसमें teachers need to be free from stress. Second, increase their attention span. Third, improve lot of patience. Or fourth, come up with more innovative ideas, innovative ways of teaching, innovative ways of convincing. Move a little bit away from traditional. Teachers cannot be just like books. They have to be a living inspiration. Living inspiration means rising to occasion and attending to individual. दो बात होती है. लोग अलग अलग होते हैं, उनके हिसाब से हमें क्या करना है, उनको कैसे बातें समझाना है. ये इंडिविजुअल अटेंशन भी बहुत ज़रूरी है. और दूसरा है, हम एज अ टीचर we can lead the society, because any big movement in the country, in this country especially, has been led by the teachers, including the freedom movement. The main inspiration have been teachers. So teachers have got a very big role. I would request them to meditate twice a day and do some breathing technique for 10 minutes morning, evening. Of course, yoga, if you like yoga, you can do, or you do walking, whatever you want to do, some exercise. Also, please take care of your food. What type of food you eat, whether it is balanced and nutritious, इस पर भी हमें ध्यान देना आवश्यक है. There are a number of research work that has concluded, that has proven that meditation changes the structure of the brain in just 2 months' time. It helps to increase the gray matter in the brain. The amygdala in the brain has become bigger in people who meditate, and the hippocampus, the back portion of brain, which usually gets lesions due to negativity, that totally gets erased on the practice of meditation on a daily basis. So I would say that every teacher should meditate. That would give them, this is the key, that would give them needed patience, presence of mind, and all that the teacher want to do.
Thank you, Gurudev. Gurudev, in our university, we are experiencing the benefit of it, because Art of Living teachers are teaching meditation and breathing techniques to our students and faculty members. And we are seeing how it is making them more dynamic and creative. So I would recommend all my colleagues to definitely take this up for their institutions. And Gurudev, the last, our guest for today is Dr. Vinay Pathak. He is the Vice Chancellor of Abdul Kalam Technical University. Dr. Pathak, please, you can ask your question.
हाँ पाठक जी, हाँ जी.
आपको चरणों स्पर्श और मेरा प्रणाम। सबसे तो पहले मैं आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे सभी डायरेक्टर्स को राजेश जी ने ध्यान का एक कोर्स कराया और हम लोगों ने फेसबुक पे कई लाइव सेशंस अपने स्टूडेंट्स के लिए आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग से कराए, जो कि काफी अच्छे साबित हो रहे हैं। और हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए काउंसलिंग सेशन के लिए भी आपने परमिशन दी और 12 लाइन्स आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग के साथ है, जहाँ पे टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट्स कर रहे हैं। तो इसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सभी टीचरों की तरफ से और वाइस चांसलर की तरफ से। चूंकि मैं अंतिम वक्ता हूँ तो आपका बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ, आभार देना चाहता हूँ, जिन्होंने वाइस चांसलर्स के लिए भी एक मीटिंग करी और उनकी बात सुनी। मैं 3 बातों पे आपका बहुत ध्यान आकर्षण करना चाहता हूँ। पोस्ट कोविड-19 में एक कोर्स जो हम लोग बहुत इजीली कर सकते हैं और आपने उसकी तरफ ध्यान भी दिया कि अमेरिका की 48 यूनिवर्सिटीज ने किया है, तो मेडिटेशन, कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग, और इसके लिए क्या हम लोगों को क्रेडिट कोर्स अब लाने का समय आ गया है और मेरे अपनी समझ है उसको लाने का वक्त बहुत आ गया है। और पोस्ट कोविड अगर हमें वर्ल्ड में वास्तव में विश्व गुरु बनना है तो ये कोर्स एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होगा हर विद्यालय के लिए। और मुझे तो लगता है यूजीसी और एआईसीटी को कंपल्सरी रूप से लागू करना चाहिए ऐसे कोर्स को। दूसरी महत्वपूर्ण बात जो है वो, चूंकि आप सोसाइटी के इक्वलाइजिंग का बहुत सारा काम करते हैं और मैंने आकर भी देखा है, तो जो व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी पे अभी आपने उसके ऊपर 2-3 घटनाओं की तरफ ध्यान भी दिखाया, उससे जो व्हाट्सएप से जो नए तरीके का एक डिविजिव सोसाइटी बन रही है और बहुत सारा मीडिया, डिजिटल मीडिया पे फेक चीजें आ रही हैं और आप हर रोज सुन रहे होंगे और बहुत सारी खबरें भी आ रही हैं उस डिविजिव की कि जो सोसाइटी है उसका फैब्रिक ब्रेक हो रहा है। लोग एसी के प्रति, सब्जी लाने वाले के प्रति, फल बेचने वाले के प्रति बहुत सारा डिविजिव है। उसके लिए आज विश्वविद्यालय को क्या करना चाहिए, ये एक महत्वपूर्ण प्रश्न है। और तीसरा, मैंने अभी एक अपना सर्वे किया था पूरे, चूंकि आपको पता होगा कि यूपी में बहुत सारी बैकवर्ड स्टेज भी हैं, ट्राइबल प्लेसेस भी हैं, तो आरोग्य सेतु ऐप को लेकर हम लोगों ने एक सर्वे किया। उसमें यह पता लगा कि जो यूनिवर्सिटीज के ए और बी क्लास सिटीज हैं जहां नेट है, वहां तो लोग डाउनलोड कर रहे हैं, पर एक नए तरीके का डिवीजन हो रहा है। 50% स्टूडेंट ऑनलाइन कोर्स कर पा रहे हैं और 40 to 50% लोगों को ये नहीं मिल रहा है। तो एक नए तरीके का डिवाइड सोसाइटी में लग रहा है। और आज सुबह मैंने जब डायरेक्टर्स की मीटिंग की तो बहुत से स्टूडेंट इसलिए परेशान है कि उनको ये ऑनलाइन मटेरियल की डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है नहीं, तो वो कोर्सेज उन्हें नहीं मिल पा रहे हैं और उनमें एक अलग तरह की एंजाइटी है। तो इन तीनों प्रश्नों की तरफ, इन तीनों बातों की तरफ आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूँ और आपसे मार्गदर्शन और आपका आशीर्वाद भी चाहता हूँ।
नहीं, आपने पायनियर किया है, बहुत अच्छा आप स्टेप्स लेते हैं। ऐसे डायनेमिक अच्छे आइडियाज़ को कहीं से भी आए, हमारे देश में यही हमेशा कहते हैं प्रेजुडिस फ्री माइंड। हमारे मन पूर्वाग्रह पीड़ित रह जाता है तो हम बंद हो जाते हैं। नए नए आइडियाज़ के मन को खुला रखना चाहिए। एक ऐसे खुले मन से आपने कई चीज़ों को एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, उसमें आपने ये सेल्फ प्रोग्राम भी किया था, काफ़ी अच्छे रिजल्ट्स आए इससे। तो ये बहुत आवश्यक है, हमें एक डायनामिक रूप से देखना इस इश्यू को। इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी कम है देश में, रूरल एरिया में लोगों को सच में दिक्कतें हो रही है, आज भी दिक्कतें हो रही है। सो ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज जबकि हम अनाउंस करते हैं, कुछ एरियाज़ में इतनी जल्दी सफलता नहीं मिल पाएगी हमें। उसके लिए हमें सरकार और आम समाज और इंस्टीट्यूशन सब मिलके करना पड़ेगा। लेट अस होप जल्दी से जल्दी सब जगह इंटरनेट अच्छे कनेक्टिविटी आ जाए ताकि ऑनलाइन कोर्स या ई कोर्सेस हम अच्छे से कर पाएंगे। ये एक बात है। दूसरी बात है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कहीं है भी और वो ज़्यादा देर रहती नहीं है, ख़ासतौर से ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में 2-2, 3-3 घंटे ही बिजली मिलती है। मगर पहले से अभी काफ़ी सुधार है, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ। पहले 10 साल पहले की जो हालत थी अब नहीं है, अभी काफ़ी फ़र्क तो आया है। मगर और इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए बहुत सी वो आवश्यकताएं हैं वे काफ़ी। और क्या क्या ऐसे ऑनलाइन में हम लोग कर सकते हैं, इस पर एक पैनल ही बैठ जाए तो अच्छा रहेगा कि कितने और चीज़ें हम ऑनलाइन कर सकते हैं हमारे यूथ को फिर कॉन्फिडेंस देना। देखिए आज क्या हो रहा है, घर में बैठे पूरा फैमिली बंद है, इतने झगड़े हो रहे हैं, इतने झगड़े हो रहे हैं। तो ऑनलाइन का इसलिए हेल्पलाइन भी अपने लगाया आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग के तरफ से भी, आपस में झगड़े ना, तो माता पिता के बीच में, हस्बैंड पति पत्नी के बीच में झगड़े बढ़ गए, बच्चे और उनके बीच में झगड़े बढ़ गए। तो ये सब सिचुएशन में इनको काउंसलिंग की बहुत ज़रूरत है। युवा डिप्रेशन में ना जाएं, मगर जोश जग जाए इनके भीतर। देखिए क्लिष्ट परिस्थिति में, मुश्किल परिस्थिति में एक व्यक्ति होता है, वो बीच की अवस्था होती है। एक तरह से एक क्लिष्ट परिस्थिति देख के वो डिप्रेशन में जा सकता है, या उसके भीतर जोश जग जाए तो वो एक पॉजिटिव क्रिएटिव साइड जा सकता है। उनमें वैलर और ये जोश जगाना पड़ेगी। ये अरे भाई मैं ये करके रहूँगा, ये चीज़ मुझसे हो पाएगा, मैं ये जो तकलीफ़ की मूवमेंट है, ये जो कठिनाई की समस्या है, इसको मैं पार कर ही लूँगा। ये जो जोश भरना पड़ता है उनको, वो करने की एक प्रयास हम सबको करते रहना चाहिए। आप सब प्रोफेसर्स को भी, आप सब एजुकेशनलिस्ट को भी, आपको बार बार मीडिया में आके या सोशल मीडिया में आके, व्हाट्सएप में आके लोगों को बताना चाहिए वी कैन डू इट, हम इसका मुकाबला कर सकते हैं। लेट अस ऑल डू इट विथ वन जोश। ये हमें उनमें जोश जगाते रहनी पड़ेगी, पॉजिटिविटी भरते रहना पड़ेगा। नहीं तो ये क्या होगा क्या होगा सोच सोच के, जो होने वाला भी नहीं है वो सब सोच के लोग डर डर के घर में बैठ जाते हैं। तो ये जो बात है, इनको पलटना हो तो हम सबको काफ़ी एक्टिव रहना पड़ेगा। तो आप भी लिस्ट बनाइएगा और कितने लोगों को, प्रोफेसर्स को हम लोग इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं। ऐसे हम मान लीजिए 500 1000 लोग हम सब इकट्ठे हो जाएं, अब बातें कर लें और आइडियाज़ करें, देन वी विल टेक इट टू द मास मीडिया and tell them, people from the field of higher education is there to make the nation strong, and we will not let any youth sulk in darkness or depression. We are here to support and make this nation one of the most powerful nations, and the youth is one of the most powerful, generation. बहुत अच्छा, सबको बहुत बहुत प्रेम और आशीर्वाद और धन्यवाद। नमस्कार।
Thank you, Gurudev.
Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you.
It's a great honor that you were able to give us so much time. And Gurudev, we wish to host such think tanks on different themes in the coming weeks. And I will take this opportunity to request Dr. Pankaj Mittal, since she is the Secretary General of Association of Indian, all university heads together, and we will request you, Gurudev, to address all of us. And today you have ignited us with so much positivity, hope, and you have made us reflect inward on building characters, on self-reflection, which is so pertinent and so important for all the young students that come to our campuses. So with that, I would also like to thank all our esteemed panel, and thank you very much, Gurudev.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Jai Guru. Namaskar.